Peace and blessings, everybody. It's your boy Chaz Wins, and I'm here with a very special guest, the button pusher from Grind City TV. And we're going to have a conversation today. We're going to talk about her journey and her book, The Building Process. I want you to check that out, and sit back and put your listening ears on, because we're going to drop some nuggets of knowledge today. The button pusher is here.
Chaz Wins.
We're live.
And we're live.
Welcome to another edition of Chaz Wins. I'm very humbled today to have a very special guest, friend of the program. The woman next to me is known by many names.
My name is Not Your Ever CEO K-Bay, aka the button pusher, aka the constant grinder, representing Grind City, which was JPB, now morphed into Grind City. We 26 years strong, so.
26 years.
Yes.
You don't even look like 26 years on this
That's
earth.
because I got this hat on. When I take it off, it's going to be greater than that beard, bro.
Essential oils.
Yes, yes.
But welcome, and it's been a true joy to watch you do your thing over the last. I've been about 10 years watching, from afar. So to actually get to sit down and have a conversation and see what you're all about, it's been, when I say uplifting, I truly mean that, because we just talked about that being goofy, and everybody knows how I do it. I just keep it real, keep it light.
People don't know that I'm goofy, right? Because they see a sister that's had to be serious for these years. My heel has been steep for such a long time,
right.
So they see this focused person. They see this very serious, no bull crap. What's the language?
Oh,
okay, man, because I talk shit to people. But people don't realize that
right.
I'm really a goofy person. Yeah. I'm a Gemini, so I have all these different personalities roaming around, and they have to stay active. But I'm finally getting to the point where I can be free like that.
Right.
Because for the first 25 years, I've had to be stern. I had to tough love it out here because I have my vision of what I'd like to achieve, and you can't play when you have your vision. You absolutely cannot play, because people will play you, right? So I couldn't play around. Now I get to play around. I'm coming down. Chance win. I like his monitor. If y'all see me, look over there, because I can see me.
We're gonna do both. We're gonna mix it up. We don't know.
And I got a mirror. Look. Look, make sure my face ain't too greasy, right?
No, you're good.
Man, I'm telling you.
Because folks won't let you know. But
they won't let you know. Make sure you ain't got nothing hanging on of it.
I'll be hot because the lights is on and I got the heat on,
I'm telling you, I might come out of it. I'm trying to stay fly. But I might come out of it.
I can't go around laying around somewhere.
It's all good.
You got the old school, but yeah, I love.
My heart is like, shut bad. I'm bad. I was just saying that. Oh, my fault.
I had a special way of rocking it. That is the golden era of rap.
They named that perfectly, didn't they? The golden era.
It really was. It really
was. There's no silver, there's no bronze. The golden era. A lot of young people don't understand why we got that name, but we wasn't dropping gold records. We were dropping solid gold facts and poetry, and we had all these different flavors coming, but all of them were able to teach you something. Right. Right?
Absolutely.
Even when you're talking about NWA, when we're talking about gangster rap, when it first started, it was to teach you something. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just...
The evolution, for me, the evolution which ties right into...
the book.
Your book, of course.
Oh, Oh, yes.
If you
The
don't,
building process.
Amazon, you can find it. The
Yes.
building process.
The building process. There's
Yeah.
3 steps to this. If you go to Amazon and type in K-Bay or The Button Pusher, you will see 2 things to say The Button Pusher Who. One is my first album that I actually released to the world. The second is my documentary, and the third is the building process, the book. So the book will tell you what I did. The documentary will show you what I did, and the music shows you and lets you hear the emotion behind what I was feeling when I was doing it. That's for JPB. I wrote that so that I can give my first company and my baby a proper, I don't want to say closing, but just its own fold. So when I got into Grind City, it can have its own energy and its own lane, right? So when I first got my building, it was JPB and Grind City, JPB and Grind. People didn't know which one to say, and then we had all these other grind people with their grind things, and they were doing. So we had to say, listen. When I say we, I'm talking about these 9 people up here, 9,000 motherfuckers up here. So don't get it twisted. I don't have a team yet.
She's got 9, and I have like 15.
9,000, bro. 9,000. I just said down because, the 1,000 be freaking people out. But I'm really that crazy. I got that many people. But we had to really, welcome to the world, right?
That's what, I'm telling you, it's genius is what it is.
It's what it
nothing
is.
Short of
to
genius.
Control all of them and not kill someone? Yes. And just get on camera? We don't say we get on camera. Well, you can't. The secret's out.
They know I'm playing.
I'm from the hood. Anywho, but I had to stop and solidify what the building was going to stand for, right? And when I decided to name it Grind City, it's weird. I used to play this game called IMVU. Okay. It's an avatar game, right? So I was this gamer. You a big gamer? No, not at all. Okay, but this game, people were allowed to dress up in a form that they felt comfortable in, and be whoever they felt comfortable. So I dressed up as this guy. His name was the Grinder, the G. He had the suit. He was this dude because So people loved this guy, right? He was fine, chocolate dude, cornrows, right? And so I set up this whole city, 89 different chat rooms, and I had people working these chat rooms, and I would pay them. I wanted to see the mindset of a worker. What makes people do or show up for work or call
science. She's got the science behind this. Is all. I love this methodology.
Man,
you know what I mean?
It was called Grind City, and it was crazy because if you went to IVU at the time, you could type in 15208, which is Homewood zip code, right? And all of our chat rooms will pop up. Nice. And you will see room after room. I had commercials for them. Same thing I do now. I had commercials for them, and I'm pumping these things because at the time people were very, very interested in being themselves behind a mask, right? And I was like, wow, it makes it easy. It does, but it really was testament to my experience where people respond to men. Yes. Just doing the exact same thing that a woman is doing. They will respond to this man. I mean, he's dressed like a whole man. I put a whole album out. And he's the guy, it's called The Grinder. It's out, right? It's on iTunes and all that, right? Real stuff, same spot. But it's on there, right? Check it out. So, but it's this guy. He's dressed to the T. Sure, he had muscles. Then I had music. I made music videos with him. Has no guns on his side. The whole thing, right? Living it up, right? And people responded very well to this guy. But as soon as I said, "Ha, surprise," it was, "Oh, you just a chick doing this. I could do it better than you." Here we go. Is that what you can do? So I wrote the book. To say, it's not just if you can do something better than me. I trust that you can. You're going to do it better, you're going to do it worse, but you're not going to do it like me. That's right. Here's my thought process. Everyone has to have a building process. That's just mine. I'm not saying you should follow it, but you could follow it, right? But I'm not saying this is the bona fide blueprint of how to do something. This is how I did it, and if it helps you, then use it. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I while reading it, it's a nice blueprint to one example of how to go about getting your steps together. And I like how you chronicled what you did. You talk about the struggle, and I love how your wording. It's like I love you. Your whole brand, the button pusher. Yes. The building process. Yes. That is so cool to play on words, and that's what hip hop allows you to do. Just do creativeness instead of being all. People get on my spelling. I'm a terrible speller.
Me too.
I can help you with just about everything in life.
You should see the editing process of that thing, bro.
I got an editor upstairs.
Right? The editing process, I love Miss Thorne. She helped me edit my book. And I was ready to pull. I had locks then, right? So I'm sitting on my hair at the time, and I'm ready to just shake them all out. Because she's like, no, you worded it perfectly, but I don't know what this word is because it's spelled like, what does that say? Right? Very patient little lady. But, you know, writing this, I was starting to do the documentary, The Butt Pusher Who. And I came across a piece of footage, and I actually made a commercial out of it. I'm outside talking stuff at the Hip Hop Buffet, and I'm talking about promoting. And I say, I'm going to write a book. And Terry, I know 10 years had went past. I had not written this book. Now, Buttons doesn't like to say she's going to do something, and it's been documented that I didn't do. And a lot of people in Pittsburgh got nervous when I said I'm putting out a book.
Any particular reason why? I can only imagine.
Yes. There's a lot of reasons because a lot of people in Pittsburgh have not treated Buttons very well. But my journey is not about you all.
That's right.
So I didn't write my book about you all. I wrote my book about my process of building. So a lot of people were like, "Oh man, I'm scared. Did she save me?" You're not that important.
Right. That's the key.
You're really not that important. I love you all.
The grind. You know
it's grind.
That's
so,
about.
Right.
It comes out. It really does. It comes out, and you know, just for people who are watching, for me personally, I was able to really absorb a lot of that, and just, you know, because that's what we're doing today. In the social media, we're growing, we're trying this, that, and the other. And you know that people like to talk about all the time. Either don't support, want something for free, don't want to pay this, that, and the other, and you've got to find your own lanes.
You have
do your thing,
An elder told me years ago, and I'll never forget these two things this elder said to me. He talked to me as the button pusher, and he talked to me as K-Bay. That's how I loved him because I didn't know this man, but he knew K-Bay and the button pusher. I'm doing a show in Steubenville. And he must have identified with the Gemini because he talked to both of us. So he said, as a button pusher, I'm going to tell you.
I'm not a Gemini, but I get
what's your sign?
I'm a Taurus.
Oh, you're close. Yeah.
So,
when's your birthday?
I'm May 1st.
Oh, you're May. Yeah, definitely. I'm May. Yeah, you're close, buddy. Just join in. Anywho, he says to me, as the button pusher, your fans are out there. It's your job to find them. Yeah. He said, as K-Bay, he said, at some point, you will become a CEO. Right, I'm in this transition now, right? And he says, if you're not always talking about your business, then you don't have a business. You don't have one. So you can't have a conversation with me without speaking about Grind City. He said to me, he says, so when you get to that CEO level, and I was thinking this prior to CEO level, but he says to me, you're going to be exhausted. He said, when you think you've done the last possible thing you could do that day because you're so tired, do one more thing for your business before you go to rest. Today is my one more thing here. This guy. It's the last thing I'm doing today. But that was what an elder told me when I was 3 years in.
Did you receive that?
I did.
Or did you just hear it?
I absolutely received it because my health had already been difficult, right? So I'm almost 50, so I've been in 25 years, right? So I'm 25. I'm not 19. I'm not 18 when I'm in this. I'm in this when my son's 5 years old. So I'm a little more mature than the average person is out here rapping. So I was able to receive some things. There were some things I still rejected because I was naive and immature to the game and the business itself. But when an elder speaks to me, I always listen to what an elder has to say. Always. Somebody my age, maybe not as much, but an elder, I always value what they say and see if it can apply to what I'm doing. Just because they're an elder, because they're an elder, I take care of elders. So yes, I totally received it. I didn't understand all of it at the time, but as I grew, I started to understand what he was saying, and I was like,
it's that life, that process. You know, you get it when it all comes together. You know. And again, it led up to, well, what I was reading about it and what I know about you. And one of the main reasons why we're here is, like I said, on this platform, it's all about sharing and growing. And my thing is, everybody doesn't have to get what I'm doing. I do.
He busted.
I do. Right. I'm going to bust something. Hey,
yo, bro. I fell out when them glasses were clean. I said, you know what? I can't do him. He's a fool. Yes, I wanted to I've always had a network. Even with JPB, I've had a TV network. It was just online TV. And, you know, through my travels, I was, you know, working at PCTV, learned a lot from Ms. Monica, learned a lot from Ms. Gladys, and was able to see how people do television shows. And I fell in love with live television, live to tape. I love it. It's awesome.
Intoxicating, right?
It is. It's very awesome because you can't. Cameras don't lie. Yeah. You can lie on the camera if you want to, but the camera don't lie. I can't tell you this ain't citrus balls. This is citrus balls right here, right? I'm working on it, but it's still here, right? And you just added 10 because you a camera.
Well,
you know,
don't
I'm
be
just
mad
saying.
Don't be mad at
the
camera. Yeah, don't do that.
But
I lost one yesterday. So that's another story. I'm sorry, bro. Thank you.
My heart goes out to you.
Had a little incident.
Woo!
You know.
Was it your fault?
Yeah.
Oh, that really hurts. You can't even blame nobody else.
Yeah, it was my fault. So.
Well, I hope you recover from that.
Thank you.
But when I start realizing that I was going to Baltimore in the projects and pulling out a camera and going, who can rap?
Mm-hmm.
And I have I started out with one person. Before I left, there was like 50 kids out there, and they got to say whatever you're gonna say, because when you're done, receive what I'm finna tell you, right? So I get the opportunity to speak to these babies because I listened to them first, right? Yeah. So that was what television did for me. Okay. It allowed me to listen to my babies, so they can listen to me. Right, so we can listen to each other.
Full circle.
So full circle, right? So once I built Grind City, you know, I called it Grind City because I'm not in there to play. When you come in, there's no pool table, there's no PS5, there's no you're going to grind or you're not going to be there. It is serious business in there. And when I built it, I had every mindset to have a photography studio, a TV studio, and a music studio. Is what I have there. So I wanted to be able to do every part of what was needed to continue on my grind. If I want to offer those services, great. But at the end result was to get back on TV, and this is why we have Grind City TV Roku.
Grind City TV Roku.
Yes.
And congratulations.
Oh, brother, thank you. That is a whole nother world.
I am impressed just by your hard work, your dedication, and the fruits of your labor are like unfolding in front of us. And I watch Grind City. You know, you got to check it out. You know, on Roku. Where else can it be found?
It could be on my website, grindcitytv.biz, or download the app on Google Play.
It is on Google Play. I watch it there too.
You iPhone users, just chill out. Unless y'all gonna donate that finance. Hold up, it's coming.
iPhones.
It's coming. Because Apple's greedy.
They are.
But you can type in grindcity.biz in the browser and get the same effect.
Just check it out. Go online and go to the site, because we always talk about supporting one another or how things make it to the top. But I mean, you're looking at a CEO sitting right next to me. You know, in my mind, this person is way up here. You know, you got the CBSs and the NBCs and the CNNs.
Man, my competition is crazy, bro.
Myself, I ain't even, you know, I'm down here.
Nah, I'm right here with me, bro.
You know? I am right here with you.
You right here with, you know why? Yeah. Because I can put you right here with me.
I feel you.
That was the whole point of building it.
Yeah.
You make your stuff tight, and we're going to put it on TV.
There you go.
You put it in a format that we needed it, we're going to put it on TV. That is the point of Grind City TV. We know that there are independent content creators that may not have all of the tools that we have, right? But if you can focus on doing what you do, don't worry about all the 10,000 things that I do. Yeah. I go do those 10,000 things so you can focus on what you do. And if you focus on what you do, and you make it the dopest you can make it at the time that you're making it, and always commit to improving it, we will put you on. That is what Grind City TV is all about. And you rep our brand just like we're going to rep yours. So we're up to 18 producers nationwide, and we just added an international global network. I
just saw that.
Right. She started airing today, and they're sending us from everywhere, Nigeria, Trinidad, just from everywhere. NSE TV network. Shout out to my whole list. I gotta hold it. Let me run down the list.
Go ahead. I
gotta pull it out, bro.
Always give them props.
I gotta give my props to this is my team, right? Yes, so my team, let me explain this to y'all so y'all never stand. My team, out of all the people on my team, I've only met 4 of these people in person. And that's because they are in Pittsburgh, right? Don't tell me. You know what? Facebook is on something else telling me I can't post .tv network. Like,
and that's another.
That's why I'm trying to get up off of there.
Yeah, another workaround.
Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Like,
I love the independent lane because you find your own avenues.
It's ridiculous.
I get blocked all the time for different things. One way or
another.
another.
I don't pay them no. Apparently, they have a problem with .tv, and I don't have .tv on this post. Anywho, shout out to Miss Blue Radio Show, Miss Blue down there in Houston, Crowded Streaming. I love Crowded Streaming because they actually developed an app that pays independent artists to play their music on their app. So if you join the app, you can join for free, upload your music for free, and if your people listen to your music on their app, you get paid for that. So shout out to Crowded Streaming. Is minority owned. The brothers is doing their thing down there in Houston. Shout out to Ho the Husband podcast. Love those brothers because they are speaking on some real stuff that us sisters may don't want to hear, but they trying to get the brothers to go from hoes to husbands. And so if they're going to get them to raise, right, if they're going to get them to raise their standards, then they're going to challenge us to raise ours, right? Shout out to my man Westside himself and Shanice. They are running the Meet the Artist show down there in Nashville, Tennessee. TJ Super representing Arizona. Rock the Mic TV show. We got my man Shaq from New York. Man, he got Sean City TV. He's bringing the fish fry. He's got a lot. He's bringing. Shout out to that brother. BeUnstoppable.com. Be Unstoppable. They bring us artist interviews. Very, very dope. Shout out to Juan West. We doing We Talking Fatherhood show. That's from Pittsburgh. That's very, very dope. That's coming in September, February. Shout out to Mr. Scrap, Youth Talk Sports. Shout out to Joey Saunders. The coaches are killing that show. We're in season 2 already of that Youth Talk Sports. Shout out to my man Brian Syke House. He brings Start the Beat with Sykes. This dude is interviewing every kind of artist you can think of. Love him. He used to do the Hip Hop Buffet series when he was a young tyke, and I told him you can do better, and he's like got 400 episodes of his show.
Y'all. Motivation.
Dope. Shout out to my man Sorgaton over there, Sorgaton Media. He brings us the indie wrestling, which is awesome. If you have not watched indie wrestling on Grind City TV Network, oh my goodness, it's so funny. Wednesdays 11 p.m. It's hilarious. If you like wrestling and you hit people with chairs, yes, you definitely want to check that out. My man B, everybody and his crew, they are bringing the PB&J show to Grind City TV. That's some brothers talking some stuff. That's gonna be funny. Shout out to Fall Through the Stew 216, my chick, Miss Ricky and Maserati down there doing her thing. I trust I didn't miss anyone, but we're growing, and it's amazing that we have been able to say to people, this is what we're doing and would you like to be a part. And we've had, you can look at my schedule, that's the 26th schedule I put out. Grind City TV Roku turns a year in March. That's the 28th schedule I've put out in a year. Why? Because if you ain't doing what I need you to do, I will delete you very quickly.
Right.
I don't have time for egos. I'm a us mentality type person. We can push way better than I or me can push. Right? Right? Yes. But you are allowed to feel the way that you want to feel. And I'm not here to convince you that my way is better than your way. I'm not here to say our network is better than what you're. If you think your show is dope, I'm going to look at it and say, this is what's going to make TV worthy. Okay. Either you're going to do the work or you're not going to do the work. Right. But it's an interesting position to be in.
I'm glad you're in it. I am, because I feel the energy and the love that you put into it, and it's a genuine sense. Since I've met you in person and even before on TV and all across the net, it translates. And when you love something and you love to do it, it's not what.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's not work.
It's not work. It's easy. It's easy. I love this part. Programming my channel every day. Can't say that I love that, but when I program it and I turn it on, I love to see that. Yeah, your stuff can be on YouTube and you can be in this whole sea with other people, or you can say at 11 o'clock. on Tuesday, you can watch me on TV because that sister is doing what she said she was going to do. And I put my show on at 11 o'clock on the time that schedule says my show's going to be on. That's my job.
And that has got to be one of the most rewarding feelings out there. It just does. I mean, I have no idea what the future holds for what I'm doing, but I'm just enjoying the journey as I go along. And certainly meeting people like you and getting the inspiration. It's incredible. You know, it's like a wealth of knowledge and just the opportunity.
Where do you want it to go?
I don't know yet. Because remember we talked about them 9 people you got? I got like 15,000. And
you know what I had to learn?
15, like, and they're all like saying something all the time.
I was right. Like, silence!
Yes.
You know what I had to learn? And this was so difficult because, you know, I started out as a DJ, and then I thought I was a producer, and then I thought I was a rapper.
There you go.
I had to learn how to pick one and allow the other ones to be the supporting cast. So I eventually picked television, right? But I think the reason why we are able to be so successful is because I am a producer and I am a rapper. So those theme songs and those commercials and those flyers, I make all that stuff myself. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like that recipe for all that. And I was wondering, you know, getting nuggets of this, that, and the other along the way. It's like, well, you know, find one thing. Monica talks about that. Find one thing, and I see it online. Find one thing, stick to that, and that. I'm sure it's a proven formula. But when you got these 9,000 thoughts up here,
you're either going to find one thing and stick to it, or you're going to be learning constantly. Just keep learning, keep learn. And this is how I learned. And again, my process. But how I learned from necessity. So I used to throw shows at the Shadow Lounge. I put my
that was my spot.
Oh man, the Hip Hop Buffet series opened up the Shadow Lounge because the Shadow Lounge used to be really one track minded on who they booked, right? So the Hip Hop Buffet said we're going to put gangster rap on stage with hip hop, and we're going to put that on stage with a little bit of singing, and we're going to put that on stage with this DJ. And the first year I had a live band at the end for you to freestyle. So we opened up, and Justin was like biting his nails at the first. Rappers in my spot, and we never had a problem. Right. We ran for Beautiful 4.5 years. We fed everybody. I just missed the buffet. If you watch the documentary, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you knew about it in Pittsburgh and you didn't come and you missed it, you just missed something special. So watch the documentary. I do have some old DVDs left for sale, $20. Shameless plug.
Shout it out.
But people like, you know, Mac Miller's first shows were on the Hip Hop Buffet series. Everybody says the Shadow Lounge, but it was the Hip Hop Buffet series. He did shows on the Hip Hop Buffet series before he did the Mac Miller shows at the Shadow Lounge. So people are still not giving Buttons her props on the things that they do. They did, oh yeah, we did the dopest hip hop shows at the Shadow Lounge. You mean you were on a Hip Hop Buffet series? Because you wasn't throwing shows, you wasn't spending that money.
Clear the air, set the record straight, as they say.
I would, but you know what? I speak on some things now. But if you'd have caught me about 5 years ago, you'd have got a whole different rah, rah, rah. Now it's like, I understand why my father put me through that. I understand why he put me through that hardship. I understand why he put me through deliberate disrespect. Because I was very boisterous. I had to be. And I had to learn how to, I don't like to use the term humble because it's kind of demeaning to oneself, but I had to learn how to shut the hell up. Right? And just grind. Right? Right? Because at the end of the day, I can tell you what I'm doing, but I can show you way better.
That's right.
And when I show you, my shit's tight. I'm not talking shit. My shit's tight. Like,
who's our best hype?
Self.
Our best hype right here.
And I know when I go to Grind City, I'm mopping the floor and I'm scrubbing this and I'm putting this and I'm moving this here and I'm painting and I'm doing that work. So I know I'm putting in what's required to say, my shit's tight. So I had to learn that there will be people who do, no matter what they see you do, they will never give